The other day, I saw this image from the Atlantic writer James Hamlin of an outdoor dining situation here in New York that kind of embodies where we are with the pandemic right now, right? The whole idea is being indoors around other people is not really safe. And so indoor dining is a bad idea. So we have outdoor dining where you have ventilation. The problem is it's cold in much of the country. So now we're watching everyone try to solve this problem. Well, how can we be outdoors and eating that's safe? Well, what if we enclose the outdoors and then it's warmer, but then you just have indoors? There is no way to think our way out of the problem. Certain activities, nightclubs, restaurants, bars, indoor activities with lots of people around each other, theaters, concerts, they're not going to be safe until we have a vaccine. But we cannot tell those entire industries and everyone who works in them to just jump off a bridge. And that's what we're doing right now. Tom Colicchio knows the restaurant industry from the inside out. He's a celebrated chef and owner of the restaurant Crafted Hospitality, the head judge of Bravo's Top Chef, a founding member of the Independent Restaurant Coalition. Tom, it's great to have you on. I feel like we're watching everyone try to circle this impossible square that's just not a solvable problem. Where are restaurants, independent restaurants right now at this point in the pandemic financially?
Yeah, we're desperate, Chris. We've been hanging on this summer. It was kind of fine if you had some outdoor dining. Even then, we weren't really making it. We're all just kind of hanging on. And right now, in the middle of what is our best quarter, this is where restaurants actually, if they make money for the year, this is where we eke it out at our fourth quarter, and we're being forced to close. And in the spirit of keeping people safe and especially in New York City, we understand that, but it's a hard pill to swallow because we've been decimated. We've been forced to close once before. It's going to happen again. And if we don't get help, 65 to 80% of all independent restaurants across this country will close their doors.
Really? Where's that number? Is that numbers you guys have run in your organization?
It's a combination. The National Restaurant Association has run those numbers, and the James Beard Foundation has run those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, even now when you see restaurants that are open for indoor dining, right, they're not packed in the way they normally be, which is good. They shouldn't be packed. But again, at least and I have a friend who's a restaurateur. We did an interview with him on my podcast. At least in the summer there was PPP. So there was some kind of federalized program. It wasn't great for restaurants for a bunch of reasons, but there was something. I mean, there's just nothing now, right? What are restaurants supposed to do?
Yeah, PPP was a short-term problem to a long-term, a short-term fix to a long-term problem. Right now, I'm doing in New York about 30% of the business I usually do. I can't cut it on that. Luckily, my landlord is working with me a little bit, but we're looking at an extinction event. And what's at stake here? Independent restaurants employ 11 million people. If we factor in fishermen and farmers and winemakers, and even let's drill down, past that. Let's get down to the plumbers who service my restaurants and electricians and people like that, the linen companies. These are the companies that are at stake too. It's not just restaurants. This entire ecosystem is really about to shut down. And not shut down because of COVID, but shut down because we need a bridge to get to the other side of COVID. And the reason we need that bridge is because after we're done, these jobs will take a long time to come back. If restaurants are kept intact, all those jobs come back. The biggest problem I have right now is making that decision between keeping my employees employed, the ones that are still employed, trying to pay whatever bills I could pay, and at the same time knowing that this pandemic is just getting worse and worse. And so we're expecting any day in New York to be shut down. Keep in mind, LA has never reopened indoor dining. Chicago is closed. Minneapolis has closed. I know I'm leaving out a bunch of other cities, but major cities are already shutting down. And every single day we're hearing from either our members of the Independent Restaurant Coalition, our friends of ours that are shutting their doors for good. And these are restaurants, in some cases, that have been open 20, even 30 years. And they're never going to see the other side of this.
Yeah, I mean, LA County just shut outdoor dining as well. And we should say, again, the evidence we have from the CDC and others continue to show that, when people are inside, they're eating, they can't really mask. People tend to, speak loudly. And, it is, indoor dining is particularly fairly high risk as these things go. The maddening thing is, I was talking to a friend the other day. We were talking about, imagining New York City or Chicago or Los Angeles or Austin or San Francisco or Boston the summer after the vaccine, right? Yeah. Imagine the world when people are vaccinated, and it's like, let's do it. Let's go to concerts. Let's go to theater. Let's go to restaurants. It's like, let's just keep them alive until we get there.
Exactly. You're exactly right. It just keep us going. And here's what's really frustrating. The Restaurant Act, okay, we've managed in 6 months, we've managed to get our bill written in the House and the Senate, okay? We have Congressman Blumenauer from the Portland, Oregon area wrote it in the House. Senator Roger Wicker, a Republican, wrote it in the Senate. We have 49 co-sponsors in the Senate, including John Cornyn and Elizabeth Warren. When was the last time they both co-sponsored a bill? In the House, we have 203 co-sponsors. We have bipartisan support for this. If this actually were regular order, like that Schoolhawk Rock used to tell us about, this would pass easily. And we would have our bill that's going to help so many people. It's there. It's all there. It's all there. We just need this to pass.
That's the other thing. This is not, it's like there's restaurants in every state in the union, in conservative areas and liberal areas, like Mississippi's got restaurants. Like, it just shouldn't be, and we can borrow it essentially nothing right now. It just seems like such a no-brainer. If anyone who's in Congress is watching this, like, let's get this done and save, because the other thing is it will pay for itself public health-wise. Like, allowing people to make these choices, allowing local policymakers to say, you know what, we're going to have to shut down dining and not be trying to thread the needle is also going to pay health dividends.
Right. I'll make a third argument here, too. When restaurants, especially when the lights are on, communities are safe. And we stay open late. And if we close, number one, I think the streets are going to get a little more dangerous. Also, commercial real estate is going to take a huge hit.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of business reasons why. Again, I can appeal to both Democrats and Republicans here. There's a whole lot of good reasons to keep crime down, to support small businesses, the backbone. Again, there are more independent restaurants, over 500,000 independent restaurants in this country, employing 11 million people. If we're not worth saving, who is? Who is?